as the internet has changed us a lot, I think one of the things we've kind of run into is a bit of that kind of crisis of meaning. I think that there is so much out there now. There are so many different pieces of discrete information of different facts that people are like hungry for somebody to come together and just weave it all together in a compelling story for you. Because left to your own devices, you know, if you were to go online, you know, you've got the big podcasts, you know, the Joe Rogans and your Daily Wires and your fun social podcast, but there's like a million different shows between Facebook and X and all these other things, and who knows what's right or what's wrong. And I think that Republicans, because I think they've completely given up on governance. They just don't give a fuck about any of that process at all, and they've only focused on messaging. They were able to come in and just capture that space so well. All of my analysis of Donald Trump, I basically shifted gears to this entirely over the last few months. I just analyze him as like an influencer. And I think that describes most of his behavior. He operates in a way that he can just capture so much attention. That's all he wants.
Right. But the reason why I think it's so important to work with Trump rather than to try to say we're going to get rid of Trump and then we're going to fix things. Like I think that's a losing proposition to say we're going to get rid of Trump and then fix things, because Trump represents taking risk. And the thing that the establishment really has tried to avoid is to avoid taking risks. We're trying to avoid further harming the most marginal communities and the most marginal populations, because when you do something radical, when you do something big, it's going to disturb the system, and the people with the least amount of resources are going to be the most vulnerable to manage that transition.
I would agree with you, but the issue is that he's just so far off in another world.
That's the entire Republican Party.
I know,
but that's
not good.
So this is what I'm saying, that if you want to engage with the Republican Party, you have to start somewhere, and we may as well start with Trump.
But the problem is, if you negotiate almost anything with that side, you've lost fundamentally like all the aspects that make America America.
Why?
Because Donald Trump fundamentally doesn't believe in rule of law or democracy or separation of powers or the Constitution.
I don't know if that's true.
Which part do you want to go into? He doesn't believe in separation of powers because he believes that he has the ability to fight with the judiciary anytime he wants. He doesn't believe in rule of law because he literally has criminal immunity. He's a convicted felon.
I mean, I agree with you that he is not acting as if he believes in those things. However, I think he's just an opportunist, right? Like, he doesn't believe in anything.
I agree with that kind of.
So it doesn't. So,
but you can't work with an opportunist. This is a cancer, right?
You can, because the whole point of liberalism is that when you work together with other people, that's the best thing for everyone.
No, the point of liberalism is everybody involved has to believe in liberalism for it to work.
Well, no, because you have. Like, liberalism is all about individuals. It's all about how everyone comes to the table with their own idea, with their own wants. And even you can say everyone is just ultimately selfish, and still liberalism works under those conditions.
Would you consider it a liberal? If 80% of us all across the country agreed to abolish the Constitution, are we still a liberal society?
I mean, like, what did we replace it with? Like, did we replace it with nothing?
With a king.
With a king. I mean,
because you could do that. I mean, our Constitution could be amended, theoretically. That is possible. I'm just saying that for liberal, something that I think people don't give enough credit for is, in any given group, everybody kind of has to agree to play by a set of rules. And when you start breaking those rules, you step out of bounds a little bit can be tolerated with, and you can negotiate a person back, but you can't play with somebody who wants to play completely outside of the rules. If you had a sibling and you played
I disagree with that.
There's a difference between like playing with somebody who, like, if you played like chess with a sibling and they make a bad move and you're like, I'll let you take that back. Okay.
Well, then you just play a different game. You play the game that they want to play.
Yeah, but the game we want to play is democracy. And if they want to play a different game, we don't want to play that game. That's what I was saying. We're playing the different game means we're fundamentally losing.
You can't just assume and assert that they don't want to play democracy.
I don't have to assume it. I just listen to what he says and what he does.
Well, maybe he's doing that because he gets so much pushback from the Democrats. Right? Like, maybe he's doing that because no one actually understands.
I think that's a totally valid excuse when you're 15.
I'm not talking about Donald Trump. I'm talking about Republicans in general. That
they need better leadership.
No. Like Democrats do not understand what Republicans want. Like, no one is talking about the fact that Republicans don't give a shit about the material conditions. And they say...
That's fine that they can say that, but all they cried about for the last election was material conditions. So what are we supposed to believe? It was supposed to be the cost of everything was too high.
The only person that really talked about this is Jordan Peterson. And what happened to Jordan Peterson is he got ejected.
Because Jordan Peterson is doesn't just talk about it. He's talking about a lot of crazy shit.
What I'm saying is, it shouldn't just be Jordan Peterson talking about meaning and trying to put some scaffold around what meaning is, right? Like, there should be more people talking about it. And Jordan Peterson has his own idiosyncratic ideas that aren't all
I don't
correct.
disagree with what you're saying. I'm not sure if politicians are the best place to get meaning from, because that's a
So what I'm saying is, it's the fact that academia and the elite and the establishment as a whole have not given people the words to talk about their crisis of meaning.
Yeah, but usually doesn't come. It usually comes from our culture, right?
No, a lot of the the articulation, the way that people talk about things, it comes from the top. It comes from the people that are having intelligent conversations about it. Like, liberalism didn't come from the culture; it came from academia.
I could be wrong on this. I haven't studied this area, so I'm on very unsure ground. But like, my guess would be more that
me too.
That the culture dictates. So people that are making movies and music are probably going to be dictating what our conversations are more than somebody in an academic institution writing a paper about sociology or something.
But it comes from like those underground, like feminism came from underground academic conversations. Liberalism also, it came from like established institutions, right? And so a lot of that, like,
sure, but we're not.
it might not be
feminism or liberalism. We're talking about just kind of like narrative or purpose, right? It's a little bit different.
I mean, I don't know, because the feminism movement is what gave women the language and the articulation to say what their grievances were, and say it in an intelligent way, and say it in such a way that they got men on their side.
What do you think? What do you think it should come from?
I think it should come from academia. I think more people should have worked with Jordan Peterson, took him more seriously, and said, how do we articulate this lack of meaning? And because when there is nothing to articulate, then we're going to talk about economics. Then we're going to talk about economics. She's like, of course, because if
do you think Jordan Peterson was effective in his approach to academia, saying all of it was rigged and that he didn't trust?
I think Jordan Peterson was idiosyncratic, and he made a lot of blunders, and he was disagreeable with people, and he could have been great, but he fumbled the bag. I think.
You got about 1 minute there, Benjamin.
Yeah, I think I lost my train of thought.
It was my fault. Sorry.
Let me see if I can.
You said Peterson fumbled the bag. I asked you because I feel like it's just so weird, because I feel like because Democrats are the only people who are willing to ever self-reflect, that Republicans are just unimpeachable when it comes to questioning motives or questioning understanding people. Because like Jordan Peterson would say that, like, well, all these trans people, they just want to make it so that they can compel me to speak about their pronouns in this way. And it's like, that's probably not really what most people care about, right? But like, so he's doing the exact same thing, but for some reason it's liberals that have to analyze ourselves for why we're so mean and fucked up.
We don't have to analyze ourselves. We're in control of academia. That's why we have to do it. We're in control of any rational thought.
Sure, but like MAGA is literally, I would say metaphorically, before MAGA was opposed to academia. Now, literally today, Trump is trying to destroy academia. So
this is the thing.
So do you think Republicans are going to be?
We need to fix this. This is critical that we fix this.
Okay, but right now Trump is trying to pull funding from places, and he's trying to blackmail places to get them to change their curriculum and everything. So
I don't like it, but I think if we don't do something about it, if we don't moderate,
so do you
going to get worse. There's going to be.
But you think there's a path to redemption, capitulating in the eyes of what he's trying to destroy?
I don't have time to. I don't have time to get into it, but I do think there is a path to redemption, like a concrete one. But I think I'll end on. Like, I was talking to Trey earlier today, and he was telling me about, like, he's a very successful guy. Like, he's got a job, he's got a family, he's just became a father. So congratulations to Trey. I think, and he talked to me about, like, he's got 2 houses, he's renting out one, and so it's like, but he feels the economic strain. And so how is someone like that, someone so successful, feeling the economic strain, feeling rising grocery prices? How is he feeling that? And I think it's because he feels like, and I think I feel this way, that what are we aiming toward? What are we angling toward as a society? Like, what is beyond just this material wealth? And it's and the thing is, of course, if you have enough money, you can create your own meaning. And so it's like when prices start going up, when housing gets harder, it's not that we're struggling to survive. It's that it's eating into my ability to go beyond, to really become. To really tell a story that I'm proud of, and I think that those beyond me will be proud of. And I think that is something that we really need to think about more rigorously and try to give that language to everyone so they can say something beyond just, I don't like inflation.
Okay.